you know, I live in LA. Maybe, you know, this toxic, musty air is, you know, part of the reason for it.
Or that musty pussy.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know about that. But the air out here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Kids in the Room podcast.
Kids in the Room podcast.
That's right. That's right.
Brought to you by Move Faces.
Woo! All right.
Let's get it going.
All right, everyone, welcome to the Kids in the Room podcast, man. You know, yeah, shit, Trenton. You know, tell us what your specialty is. Why am I fucking telling you that? Actually, you've been on the show before. What the fuck am I doing?
I've been on. We've been setting up, so now we're like in this mode of, you know, conversational friendship, not business mode podcast.
Yeah, you've been on. Yeah, we've been, you know, we've been setting up shit. It's been brutal setting up in this hotel over here in Burbank.
Yeah, we're not working with the best space, but we made the best of it.
We did it. Fucking did. Thank you for the help, though.
Oh,
seriously, and your
pleasure.
patience.
No
your
problem,
fucking
no
patience.
problem, man. No problem.
Amazing fucking patience.
I have plenty of experience setting up equipment, filming, doing things like that. I know how much a pain in the ass it can be. And yeah, so it's like I got a little empathy to extend in setting this stuff up.
Yeah, it's that kind of a party. Wow. So, man, you know, it's been a couple months since you've been on the pod, and it's like, what the fuck has been happening, man?
A lot in my world and the world in general. I feel like,
but first of all, we need to let everybody know who you are again, just in case they don't remember.
Yeah. So I think I did the podcast last September, so it's been a minute. It's,
so tell everyone what your specialty is, who you are. Yeah, let's do it.
My name is Trenton Hudson. I produce cartoons. I do comedy. I live in Los Angeles. That's what I originally moved out here for about 6 years ago. Along the way, I've done a handful of other things. About a year and a half ago, I started a coffee company. We actually make coffee out of date seeds as a healthy alternative. I have a heart condition, so I kind of avoid caffeine for the most part. And yeah, just been working, grinding, hustling, you know, staying busy in LA, making moves, making things happen.
Making those moves, man. You got to make those moves. Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah, you have to. So yeah, I have you know, if you missed the first podcast I was on, my brothers and I, we have a small boutique animation studio that we do in LA, or we have in LA. We do cartoons on the internet. Riot Comedy is our brand. We did a really popular show called Real Ballers, where we made fun of NBA players and all the nonsense in the NBA news cycle, because we're huge NBA fans. Did a show for Comedy Central for a couple years on their digital platforms called The Lounge. Worked with some other really cool people here and there. Did the project with Kevin Hart's LOL Network, Showtime Basketball. And lately, you know, since I think I was on the podcast last time, we've been focusing more of our attention towards pitching shows, putting those kind of show Bibles together. We've pitched to some really cool networks, some really cool projects we're working on. A couple other pitches coming up. Like, that's kind of where we're at right now, is, you know, trying to go from that, you know, short form internet content to standard 30-minute TV shows.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, so so building those connections in LA and making those kind of moves to get that done.
Yeah, I had to do it.
Hilarious. I love it. I love it.
Do it.
I as a comedian, I appreciate it.
It was a contagious thing to do.
Love it.
So yeah, man. So, you know, man, it's been a lot going on, man. We had the whole Will Smith shit, you know.
Yeah, and it's funny because we talked about that and had kind of different things to say about it. And,
we did.
You know, it was, I think from my perspective, the Will Smith thing, as a comedian, it was very triggering for me to watch a comedian tell a joke and then have someone react that way. But it's a lot deeper than just that joke. You know, there's personal things between Will and Jada, and, you know, maybe personal things between Will and Chris that we don't know about. So I think it's a lot deeper than the joke. And, you know, I'm a huge Will Smith fan. I think he's a great person. From, you know, I don't know him personally, but from what I see, he seems like a great guy. Huge fan of his work. I've always been, I mean, I grew up watching, you know, The Fresh Prince. Uncle Phil was like my Uncle Phil, right?
Yeah, he was a lot of people's Phil, man. Yeah, for sure. Like, do you know the background story of the whole, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
From what I know, I think Quincy Jones and Will Smith were at a party, and Quincy Jones basically talked Will Smith into just pitching this show on the spot to some execs that were there.
Yeah, that's partially it, but I think what I'm asking more is like the whole story of like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, who is it? Basically? It's kind of like almost like a not a biopic, but what do you call it? Almost like a it's based off of a true story.
Yeah. You know, I saw something like that floating around social media at one point, but I didn't see the source, so I don't know if it was true. So I was like, maybe it is about this guy. And then I never looked into it.
Yeah, so actually, I knew, I've hung out with the original people who the story was written about, which was
very cool.
Kerry Gordy.
Okay.
Which is one of Berry Gordy's sons. And yeah, it was, Kerry Gordy's actually Carlton in real life. It was based off of him.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Yeah, and if you ever meet Kerry Gordy, he's just like fucking Carlton.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I remember one time
He gets down with Tom Jones and everything.
Oh my god, dude! I remember one time like I was at his house and like he has all this shit with like, these gold records and shit in his house. Just like got like Prince, Mary J. Blige, you name it, all on the walls. And he produced it. And he was all a part of that shit. So
Nice.
it's like, I remember one time we went to this one event in Beverly Hills, Move Faces TV, and Kerry was like, "Hey, camera guy, come here. What are you doing?" I was just joking when he was fucking saying that
Nice.
voice. I was like, dude, what? Camera guy, hey, come here. Where you going?
It's like, this is real life right now.
Yeah, it was funny, but it was based off of his childhood. He was supposed to be Carlton, and it was basically Bill and Medina, who was actually really like Will Smith's, who had came from a different side of the track and went to go stay with them. And it was a real and Uncle Phil was actually Berry Gordy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very nice.
So that's why when you go look up a lot of those the credits, you'll see like Berry Gordy.
Yeah. Oh, I remember he was in an episode. That was the episode with when Ashley is like trying to be a singer. Or no, he's in that episode, right?
I don't actually know. I never paid attention.
gotta
But it was it was a Gordy. It was Gordy. Yeah, the Gordys for sure. And also another trippy thing is Kerry Gordy also has a brother who you might know of, who was in a popular group called LMFAO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, familiar.
Yeah, that's his half brother. Doom.
Oh snap! Okay.
Red Foo.
Yeah.
Red Foo Gordy.
Had no clue.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. It's an inside thing. It's an industry thing.
clearly.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
Yeah,
But
for the ins. Now I feel like I got some inside scoop on.
You got some inside
stuff.
scoop. Yeah, but literally that's what it is. So they were, they're everything. The thing about LA, everybody's kind of close. Everybody's kind of tight, and it's a big network.
It is.
So like when you go from the Gordys, you understand you're messing with the Jacksons, and you're also messing with the Rosses, and you're also messing with the Kardashians, because when you hear like guys like Ray J say he hit it first, it's not clear that he did, because it's like Taj or TJ Jackson, one of the 3 T's, which was Tito's kids, took Kim Kardashian to the prom.
Yeah.
So she was dating a Jackson before she ever went to a,
When okay, so I moved out to LA 6 years ago, and when I first moved out here, we already had my brother. When I say me and my brothers, right, our animation company, we had our deal with Comedy Central already lined up. That was already signed, and then we're like, okay, we got things rolling. Let's move out here. So when you're on the outside looking in, you don't know anything about LA, the entertainment industry. You think it's this whole big thing, and it's like such a small community of like who's actually in it. And you see when you go out and you go to these events and things, you kind of see the same people everywhere you go, even when it's not like the A-listers. Like I'm not gonna front like I'm around that, because I'm not around those people, but like those C-listers, I see those people everywhere.
The C-listers are always at all the events, by the way.
Oh yeah, because we're trying to be A-list.
Yeah,
we're trying to be A-list. We still gotta network, make our rounds, and do all this and that. And honestly, I'm not even on a list yet. Like I see C-listers where I go, but I'm not at that level yet. Even I'm trying to make the list still. I can get in the building, but like, I got to know somebody to be there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to make yourself, I would say, an A-list or B or C. And even some of the A-listers now are like C-listers. Yeah,
you can move. It's not like you get to stay there once you're there. You gotta work to stay.
You
there.
gotta maintain that baby. It's like
absolutely
a plant with like needs consistent water.
It's very easy to be an A-lister and then be not on the list anymore. Like anything can happen to your career, especially like musicians and actors. Like how often is there somebody at the tip top of the game, and then a week or two later they're a joke on social media, and then their career is just, you know, that's the beginning of the end for them. That's reality in this business for some people.
Yeah, it is the beginning of the end. Yeah, I mean, you do see that a lot. You do see like people that are, you know, they're up and then they're just like down. You know, I'm not trying to say you're down, but you know, they're up and then they're down, and it's like it's funny because, you know, that's just kind of how LA works. LA is this place where, you know, you could be on top 1 second, the next minute you can be down. So one thing I always sit there say is like always be, you know, cool with everybody.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely. And that's a crazy thing too. Is like I always you got to watch your mouth where you're at, because you never know who you're talking to. Even if something gets brought up and you're like, in the back of your mind, you might be thinking, okay, so let me say, especially as a comedian, we judge each other a lot, comedians, right? So we always think, you know, I'm funnier than the next guy. And like even, you know, Dave Chappelle said one time, he's talking about he can't watch other people do comedy, and essentially because he thinks other people, not that they're not funny, but he said it's like watching someone else fuck your wife. Like, I do it better than that. and that's what he said. And it's like I kind of feel the same thing. So when you're in these kind of environments and you hear someone's name get brought up, you know, sometimes you'll be like, that guy's not even that funny. And then it's like, he is that funny. You just, you know, you feel like he's fucking your wife.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
not figuratively speaking, obviously, you know, it's not that
I don't know about that.
It's just like, you know, I'm funnier than that guy, and you know, Dave Chappelle, he thinks he's funnier than everyone in the world, and obviously he should think that. And you know, when you're at that level, especially Dave Chappelle, you know, Chris Rock, whoever, you know, gets thrown in that mix, yeah, it's tough to watch other people kind of do what you think, you know, you're the goat at. Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I understand what you're saying. It is hard to do that, you know, yeah, for sure. I think there was, I think it was like, what was his name? Adam Schultz, right? I think he was talking about on the podcast, on one of his episodes where he was talking about, I think about, Dave Chappelle calling him out on something. Like, I think he was on Joe Rogan's podcast and he had said something about, I think Joe Rogan was, Joe Rogan was giving, Adam Schultz props. Like, hey, look, he came at a time during the pandemic.
Yeah, Andrew Schultz.
Yeah, Andrew Schultz. Sorry, what the fuck? Why am I saying Adam? What the fuck am I saying Adam? Yeah, Andrew Schultz. Sorry. No I need my coffee. It's because of the fucking long ass drive down here to LA. Man.
You drove 6 hours straight and then did 3 hours straight setup.
I know, it's fucking insane. Yeah, I've been hitting those yerba mates. Yeah, eyes a little bit popping out red. Thank you. Sorry, everyone, if you see my eyes red, it's because I've fucking
lack of sleep.
Lack of sleep, and I didn't go to sleep till like 3 o'clock, by the way. But a little bit too much information for everyone to hear. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I think So Schultz was basically, Andrew Schultz was basically saying that it wasn't Andrew Schultz. Andrew Schultz was talking about on his podcast about how Dave Chappelle had said something kind of, I guess he was saying like he was all right. You know, I mean, it's like, because Rogan was basically saying like, oh, did you that guy Andrew Schultz was pretty clever. He just like, he during the pandemic he came up with this whole like what do you call it? He said he came up with this new way of hitting social media and it got kind of popular, and he found a different angle, right? Besides just doing the basic comedy route or going through Big Brother.
Yeah.
And so he was talking about that and kind of, bragging and giving props to Andrew.
Yeah.
But, Dave Chappelle was just, Dave Chappelle was kind of like, I don't know. I'm not really into all that, know?
Yeah. Well, I think regardless of how you feel about Andrew Schultz or his comedy, I think you do got to give him props for like kind of what you were alluding to about what Rogan said, how during the pandemic, this guy kind of found his niche and did something that no one else was really doing. And, he was hitting current events, but from what I saw most of the time, it was really from a non-biased perspective. And it was kind of straight down the middle and just making jokes at everyone's expense, left and right. And, kind of talking a little bit of shit on everybody, but also being funny about it and not talking shit just to talk shit. And, actually, there's always jokes behind what was being said. So I think, regardless of if you're a fan of him or not, you got to give credit where credit's due whenever someone's doing something new that, kind of, they can carve out their own avenue.
No, yeah, I mean, I agree with you totally. Like, you got to give him some type of like props for what he does. I mean, I'm definitely give him his props. He's built a nice, lovely new studio. Studio looks nice. You know, he started from the bottom. Now he's here.
Yeah, he
studio
does his
looks
thing.
nice.
He does his thing. I'm actually a big fan of Andrew Schultz. I think he's hilarious. I think he's one of the better comedians to come out in a while. Like him, my favorite newer comedians lately to come out within the last few years is Andrew Schultz and Ronnie Chang. Ronnie Chang is brilliantly funny. Like he's got a couple Netflix specials. His first one is I believe it's called Asian Man Destroys America, and that special had me crying from laughing so hard. It was great.
Asian Man Story. Which one is that? Like, what kind of jokes did he make?
Just makes fun of America, how abundant it is here, how leisurely we live, how we all live like kings here compared to people even a couple hundred years ago. Like everyone in America lives like a king. We all live like royalty. Like Amazon will deliver you a pen that costs $1 with no shipping fee and come. Like I live in LA, I can get same day delivery. I can order a $1 pen and someone will bring it to me in 3 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
It sounds ridiculous you shouldn't even be allowed to have free shipping on a $1 pen, but you can do it, and someone will bring it to me same day. If I need to write something down and I don't have a utensil, Jeff Bezos will have someone bring me a pen that day.
Yeah,
for almost free.
Yeah,
so it kind of touches on that, but yeah, I'm telling you what it's about without having, hit the jokes. Because if you want to go watch it, I don't want to tell you anything about what it's about. Just kind of give you an idea of, the perspective on life in America and how that's hit by someone who's not from here.
Right, for sure. Yeah, man. So what do you think? What do you think, man? I mean, if someone would have called your wife, G.I. Jane, you think you would have boxed him?
Absolutely not. No. I think, there's definitely a fine line between making jokes and being disrespectful. I didn't really see that as disrespectful. I thought it was, a funny joke. And also, I want to say this because, some people I saw whenever after this happened, right? People jump to Jada's aid and they say, oh, well, she's got this disease, she's got alopecia, it's a chronic disease, it's this and that. It's like, okay, let me tell you right now, no, it is not a chronic disease. It's not serious. I have alopecia. So if you're listening to the podcast, you can't tell, but if you're watching the podcast, I have a bald spot in my face, like right here where the hair has fallen out, and it's like really thin. It started to come back, but I have a huge bald patch in my cheek right now on my left side, and then on my right side, like right before my beard and mustache meet, I got another one. So, and alopecia is not really a big deal. Like that's all that happens is your hair falls out. There's no other side effects. There's no other anything. And also with alopecia, some people don't understand this, is that you can correct it. So any autoimmune disorder can be corrected. That's your immune system attacking healthy cells because your immune system's out of whack. So when your immune system is out of whack, it's something in your environment that's causing it. Whether it's what you're eating, what you're drinking, the stress you're exposing yourself to. I live in LA. Maybe, this toxic, musty air is, part of the reason for it.
Or that musty pussy.
I wouldn't know about that. But the air out here, I tend to, be in good circles.
That's what she said.
So yeah, maybe that may be your experience in LA, but that's not my experience in LA. My experience in LA has been great in that realm.
Okay, there we go. It wasn't my experience in LA, but I'm just saying.
It's not me. Someone I know.
Sometimes you might. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. I mean, you gotta be careful on LA. LA's not a. It's a different place.
It is a different.
You might step on a mousetrap out here.
There's mousetraps all over the place.
Yeah, a lot of mousetraps out here. There's more out here though. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know why? Because there's a lot of cheese.
I don't know if I want to jump into that
one. Yeah, you find a lot of cheese, you'll find a lot of mice. And here is a place where there's a lot of cheese, where they roam freely, there's a lot of cheese, and mouse like cheese.
They love it. It's their favorite thing. They gravitate towards it.
Exactly.
They can sniff it out from miles away.
So, it is what it is, It's that serious. But yeah, I don't know. Will Smith. Let's do Will Smith. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's tricky. I think, you know, it's dynamics of the relationship. Personally, me, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
But I'm not him.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the fuck? You know, I don't really know what to say. It's really hard to say what I would do when I'm not that person. Yeah. But it's like, I don't know. Maybe that relationship is so dynamic that maybe he felt like he had to do something. Maybe he was on the edge, you know?
That's what I feel. And obviously, you know, this is outside looking in, so all we can do is speculate. But, you know, just because Will and Jada, they have a very public relationship and their business is out there quite a bit. And I think, you know, on the edge. And, you know, Will has dealt with a lot of issues the past couple years with their relationship, and he has been made to look pretty bad in it. So I think, you know, this is kind of him standing up for himself to be like, hey, Jada, I am, you know, Tupac.
All eyes on me.
All eyes on me, baby.
All eyes on this cheese.
Like, what would Tupac do? I think his mind went to, what would Tupac do?
Oh, shit.
And he's like, Tupac would have boxed this motherfucker. Like, I gotta get, what's up, Chris Rock? So, I think it was kind of him standing up for himself. And I think, you know, Will, I've seen them do interviews where, you know, I have seen quite a few episodes of Red Table Talk, right? And there's an episode where Will's on there and he's talking about the relationship with him and the whole family. And I think he was saying one time when Willow was a kid, like tiny kid, they're having a conversation and there's like the melancholy mood in the house, right? But Willow grabs Will's face and I may be butchering this story, but it's something along these lines. You'll have to check out the Red Table Talk episode. But she, you know, something's wrong, and I think either Will or Jada asks Willow what's wrong, and she's looking at, you know, Will holding his face like this, and she says, Daddy has an idea of a family in his head, and we're not it. And so when Will said that, it's like, first of all, that takes a lot of courage to be that vulnerable and kind of put that out there for the whole world. So kudos for that, because I'm not in a stage in my life where I can do that yet, that's for sure. But, you know, I think, you know, whenever you have a kid, kids are so honest, right? Like they'll put it all out there because they're just like, hey, I'm saying what's in my heart. And so when that's in the heart, and then Will's like, his reaction was kind of like, oh, she's right, you know? And so I think that kind of dynamic, whenever you have that, it's like, maybe Will and Jada were supposed to be together because they had to have this growth, but maybe they weren't supposed to be together. Maybe who knows? I don't know. I'm not them. I'm not in the relationship. I'm not friends with them. I don't know them. But I think it's, you know, very, very important to understand yourself so that you can understand what kind of partner you need. And that kind of situation is like, is that right? I don't know. Just because that's, and again, this is all outside looking in. It's just, you know, speculation. But I think maybe, you know, maybe they weren't supposed to be together. But I don't know. Maybe they were, because they got, you know, kids that seem to be doing good things for the world. So that came out of that. So
yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, I think Jaden was, you know, I think like he was like, didn't he hook up with Tyler, the Creator, or something one time or something? He's doing amazing things in this world.
I was alluding to like I think he's got a food truck that like feeds homeless people.
That's awesome.
Like that's amazing. Like
he's giving back.
This dude's out here giving
back to Tyler, the Creator, and he's giving back to, you know, the homeless and the health care.
That's his boyfriend.
He's also helping out with water.
Yeah, nah, he's like for real. Dude. Like I love making fun of people as much as anyone, and the Smiths can get it too. But yeah, and Jaden Smith, let's make fun of him. But yeah, he's like for real doing like great things for the world. So I've read. I don't know him. This could be.
You know, I mean, what the fuck else do you have to do when you have that much money? I mean, you could fuck it up, but he is doing better things. Definitely. Don't get me wrong. Definitely. He is doing better things. Especially
considering there's a lot of people, not in the grand scheme of things, like percentage wise, but a lot of people who have that much money who aren't doing those kind of things.
I think you know, who I think is awesome is Willow Smith. Like her music is fucking different. It's awesome. She's actually a great artist. I think she's pretty fucking awesome.
I'm be honest, I haven't heard a Willow Smith song since Whip My Hair Back and Forth.
Nah, that was trash.
Forever ago.
That was trash.
That was all I heard, and I was like,
That was trash.
This girl's like 13, 14 years old. Why is she making this kind of song? I don't know.
I think she was trying to be. One thing I think they do is they get into this like zone. They have so much fucking money.
Yeah.
I think they get in this zone where they're like, hey, who can I be this year?
That's freedom right there.
I mean, I'm just saying because like,
Yeah.
I feel like what's his name? Jaden. He's like, all right, fuck, who can I be this year? Oh, you know what? I like Pharrell. He's cool. I'm gonna be Pharrell this year.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh fuck, I like Tyler Creator. Oh wait, I like Kid Cudi. Okay, I'm gonna be Kid Cudi.
Yeah.
Like he just goes through these, these characters that he just, these personas that he wants to be.
But he's like so confidently cool that I feel like, well, first, if you're confident, you can wear and kind of do whatever you want. But he does it in such a cool way that's like you almost feel like it's him, but kind of like you said, he's like playing these characters almost. But yeah, I think that's like.
He's been watching too much, he's been watching too many Pharrell remakes, I mean, he's been like, rock your body, do. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's just like, he's like really influential of his surroundings. Yeah. And I feel like Willow is too. The whole whip my hair back forth. I thought that was fucking Beyonce, to be honest with you. That shows how much I paid attention.
Yeah.
But I think even that was her at her attempt to try to be like what was current at the time, who was popping.
Yeah.
Beyonce. And so she was like, all right, I'm going to do a song like Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? It's like how some people were saying like people were tripping on Jack Harlow.
Yeah.
Like I was watching a couple of other pods and they were tripping on Jack Harlow. I think it was Joe Biden or Joe Budden, excuse me. Fucking Joe Biden.
I'm sure Joe Biden is in the White House listening to.
Yeah, Joe. I'm fucking up names because I didn't sleep today, man. Fuck. But no, Joe Budden. I think they were talking on his podcast. They were talking about I guess they were talking about Jack Harlow on one of the most recent episodes, and they were saying like how Jack Harlow. It sounded like he just said, they were saying like, kind of paraphrasing it from what I remember, that it sounded like Jack Harlow said, hey, let me do a Drake album. You know what I'm saying? Theming it.
Yeah.
And I feel like fucking, Willow and Jaden, they do that. There's I'm gonna do a fucking Pharrell album.
Yeah, definitely. I think.
I mean, everybody learns from everyone and copies. I copy. Everybody copies.
All great artists steal.
Yeah.
But I feel like, damn, I mean, if you look at music in general, especially, like, obviously you have, music is great because you have so many unique artists, right? But the majority, like, it's trend hopping, Like most rappers, I listen to mostly hip-hop music. Most of these new rappers all sound the same to me. I only listen from the last probably...
The bitches,
mumble stuff, and they don't really have much to say. Like, out of all the, like, new rappers that have come out in the last couple years, 2-3 years, like, the only one I really listened to is probably, I listened to Lil Baby, because this dude can like actually rap, and most of his music that I listen to is like about getting money, hustling, doing your thing, keeping your line right. I mean, he's got like gangster stuff too, but I like that music that's like motivating, and I don't listen to any sad music. I don't listen to any like druggy, like low vibrational type, none of that stuff. Never. Like I listen to like uplifting music. I listen to music about that like makes me feel like I'm the king of the world, and then I listen to like podcasts and audible audio books. But yeah, no sad music, never, not even if I'm sad.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. I go by vibe. Like sometimes I feel like I could be melancholy, but then sometimes I feel like I could be just this party animal, happy. Yeah. Sometimes I can be like fucking Journey. Don't stop. Believe.
Yeah. See, that's great. Like uplifting or relaxing for me. But yeah, like that kind of melancholy, like.
Sometimes I'm feeling pumpkins, man. Sometimes I'm feeling pumpkins. You know what I'm saying? I might feel a pumpkin day. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Yeah. And sometimes I might feel like, I might, the bitch is bad and bougie. Sometimes I'm feeling that. I mean, it just depends.
Yeah, sometimes you're in a party mode. Yeah, honestly, like my only music I don't listen to is like nothing sad. I don't listen to country music either. But yeah, like no depressed me. Like, and I love Apple Music or whatever, you listen to Spotify, whoever, whatever you stream with, instead of like the physical copies. Because if there's a song on something that's like too low vibrational music for me, you just delete it and it's gone. You don't have to even skip it every time you get to it or nothing. Like
what do you mean by low vibration?
So I mean anything that's like actually brings down my vibration as a being in this universe, right? So anything that has like kind of sad tones, anything that's okay, so let me give you an example.
Yeah, give us an example.
I love Kendrick Lamar. I love his newest album is amazing. But there is a track on there. I don't remember what it's called because I deleted it. I listened to the album one time and I deleted this song. It's the album where him and his lady are literally just screaming and fighting at each other. So for me, that's low vibrational because this is a song that is rooted in trauma. And this is, you know, an experience that's being put out there. But this, you are what you consume. No one's above this, right? So if you even look at like, okay, everyone, you know, they say we are the sum of the 5 people we spend the most time with. But you're also the sum of every little bit of content that comes into your mind. Everything you absorb, everything you consume, that makes you who you are. So I try to limit things that take me away from that. And I grew up in kind of like I grew up in a very chaotic household. Like my parents split when I was young. My mom remarried. Her and my stepdad like had their alcohol struggles. All my parents did, but you know, so that was in the household. And then my mom and my stepdad, they would fight all the time, you know. So that kind of,
your mom and stepdad would fight all the time?
Yeah.
So what do you mean?
Not physically, but they would, you know.
Was it like Will Smith in there, or like what's that?
it was just verbally.
Keep my name out your mouth.
It was quite a bit more extreme than that. It was yeah, just, you know.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Yeah, it was extreme. So that kind of energy, you know, I just don't want to be around it. So even like that Kendrick Lamar song, deleted it. You know, anything that's, you know, yeah, I just, you know, feel good music is what I listen to.
Right,
feel good.
But wait, you said you like Kendrick Lamar.
I love Kendrick. Just that one song I deleted where he's fighting with his lady, because for me it's a low vibrational song.
See, this is like, where I hear Kendrick Lamar, you know, chiming in subconsciously to this podcast and saying, "Keep my name out your mouth."
Hey, nothing but praise for Kendrick, man. I've been listening to Kendrick since he was K-Dot. Like this dude been around, and yeah, Kendrick's great,
he
man.
he would not do that. He's a stand-up guy.
Nah, he'd be like, "Hey man, there's, you know, I get it. There's just a reason that song's got to be on the album. It helps tell this story, and it does. Like the theme of the album is great. I love it. It's just that song. It's chaos. It's chaos, and I don't want the chaos in my life. The relationship chaos, you know." Keep things smooth. Exactly. That's how I feel whenever I listen to that song afterwards. It's like, so, you know, the whole song is, you know, him and his lady screaming with each other. So
see, when I'm screaming, this is what's happening. When I'm in there with the ladies, I'm screaming, and it's like, bravo, 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 Tavares, bravo. Too much of this Cristiano.
Or not enough.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Not enough. That's what she said. No, I mean, seriously, though. Like,
you.
Exactly. What you got me. All right, so check it out, right? So it's like, yeah, we're going to leave Will Smith alone. So let's talk about.
Let's do that, because I love Will Smith. I'm a huge fan.
I love Will Smith, too. That's why,
all of his movies
I was actually upset that people just turned their backs on him immediately because of this, because I felt like if you were like had his back, you know, if you what was the one thing that I don't know if it's like a meme, I don't know if he really says it, but if you're not there for my if you're not there for my down, or something like that, I can't paraphrase it right.
If you're not there for me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Something
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm not sure if he said that directly, or if he just, I've heard him say it before, and I feel like you got to be down for people even when they're at their worst. I feel like people just quick to turn their back.
Definitely.
As soon as you do something wrong, the Me Too cancel culture.
Yeah.
He smacks somebody. I don't mess with Will Smith. Last night you were fingering yourself to Will Smith.
You know what I mean?
Now you don't want to fuck with Will Smith. What is your problem here?
I agree. I think we're too quick too quick to judge, too quick to do this and that, too quick.
They turn their backs.
I'll say this. So with the Will Smith thing, I love Will Smith. I never quit being a fan of him, but my only thing is, I was like, I was pretty happy to see some of the other comedians kind of defend Chris Rock, because at the end of the day, like, comedy is an art, and you know, if you can't laugh at yourself, then you ain't allowed to laugh at anyone else either. And but we got to be, you know, kind of.
I don't know. I kind of feel like, you know, some like, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit different to this, right? I believe there's tasteful jokes And then it's hard to say what is a tasteful joke. So that's weird. All right. When I first just said that shit sounds weird. But I'm just saying, maybe I have this like, you know, this whole thing from my high school bus, you know, my middle school bus, where it was like a fucking roast. Like you had to warm up, like you had to be a comedian when you got on the bus.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
you had to warm up because the bus was brutal. The bus was brutal on the East Coast in American schools.
Yeah.
Like literally as soon as you get on the bus, you had to be warmed up. You had to be ready. Last night you were practicing. You were practicing your shit.
Practicing
you were practicing your joke. You were a comedian.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was a comedian before I ever even was trying to even be a comedian. You know, I'm not even trying to be a comedian, but I was a comedian in my earlier life.
You gotta be.
I had to be, or you would just cry and die on the bus because everybody started a joke as soon as you got on the fucking bus. Everybody started laughing. So you had to be defensive. There was one girl, she had like a problem with like her thyroids. And you know, they called her fatback.
Kids are the meanest things in the world.
Yeah.
We're so mean as children.
As soon as she got on the bus, they said everything got quiet, and you knew it was coming.
I'm like having flashbacks to similar situations. When you said everyone got quiet, I'm like, oh,
everybody
shit.
got quiet.
Like, yep.
As soon as she got on, she was like, you know, she's like, I know something's coming. It was coming. And she got on and she sat down, and everybody said, sit your fat ass down. And you're like, oh, and everybody starts laughing on the bus. These kids are brutal.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God. And for me, I always felt so bad because like that joke had to hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
That hurt. People were crying on the bus.
That's too much. Like, I think because that's not a joke. That's just saying something mean to somebody. That's not a joke. There's no punchline. There's no setup. There's no irony. There's no nothing to make it a joke. It's just kids being mean because kids are fucking mean.
I mean, but I feel like comedy is almost at some point a fun way to do it. It's a fun way. It's a fun way to pick on people.
That's true.
And bully them in a way without fucking being ridiculed, because you can pick on people. Like there was a lot of fucking great comedians I met on my bus. Like and like I said, you had to learn to be one if you wanted to survive. If you didn't want to go home every day crying, you had to learn how to be a fucking comedian on my bus.
That was my household, bro. I'm one of 5 boys, and there's only 7 years from oldest to youngest. So every single day is a roast fest, and you gotta hope today ain't your day, because how it generally would go was if someone does something, they slip up, say something stupid or say something that don't make any sense, then one good joke hits you and everyone else jumps in and starts just roasting you, and then we don't let it go for the whole day. So that was what me and my brothers grew up doing to each other. So like I'm the type of dude, like I don't think anything is off limits whenever you're doing jokes, as long as what you're saying is funny.
I mean, these jokes on the bus were hella funny. They were fucking pretty funny. Like even if they were about you, they were still funny. Yeah. You had to laugh, but you were mad.
That's the thing. See,
you were mad.
See, I'm not for catering jokes to, you know, dodge people's feelings. I'm towards catering our feelings to be able to accept any joke that we can take. So you can say any joke, like anyone can say any joke about me, and I'm not gonna get offended, because I'm just like I think everything is funny, and I think nothing is off limits when it comes to joke topics.
I don't know, man. If you would existed on my bus, I don't think you would have been thinking this way. And I think this is where I always go back in this reflection of like this joke. There's this thin line, because those jokes used to hurt people and fuck with people. It's like, dude, there was like you know, I remember this one kid named Ricky. Yeah. You know, he was a brown-headed kid, and there was these 2 African-American kids that live right three houses next to us. And Ricky, when he would come down, we would go to this other kid, Marcus's house, with these 3 brothers. And I remember one time we were playing with him over his house, just hanging out and shit, right? And all of a sudden, his dad comes in, and his dad's name was like David. And he would just always come in, and he would have a hat on, and he would be sweating. And he would just wipe his hat off and his brow, you know, when he'd come in. So you knew when he came in, but you would hear his truck as soon as he would come. Yeah. So you already knew, like, he didn't allow friends or anybody else to come around. So you would hear this truck. You're like, oh shit. And Marcus would go, oh shit, it's David. He's coming. Oh shit, get the fuck out of here. And it's like, oh shit. It was too late. David pulled in. So you're stuck. We said, no, we're not going. So we sit around and we're just sitting there. David comes in. David's like, Marcus, your friends gotta go. Why you got so much company, Marcus? And he's like, you know, he said, I'm gonna embarrass you in front of your friends, Marcus. He said, listen here, you, Chad, Drew, hop in the tub. Drop your drawers and hop in the tub. And we're just like, what? At the same time?
Yeah.
It's like, and then like all of a sudden, but I wasn't even worried about that part.
Yeah.
Whatever you do in your house and whatever your parents tell you to do, that is what it is.
Yeah.
But I knew what Ricky was going to do.
Yeah.
He was, once he heard that, I just look. Everybody looked at him, and even Marcus, he looked at him. He's like, "Fuck you, Ricky," because he knew what was happening the next day on that fucking bus.
Oh shit, that's rough. Yeah,
Ricky smiled. Man. Ricky smiled. You knew it was roasting as soon as you woke up in the morning, so you were crying inside.
Yeah.
And so the next day, the bus happens. Ricky smiled. He woke up bright and fucking early to be on the bus. He couldn't wait. He had his hair combed over to the side. He fucking couldn't wait. And as soon as Marcus got on the bus, you heard a couple of steps, doom, doom, doom. And then all of a sudden, Ricky jumped up and said, "Hey, Marcus, get your ass in the tub. Drop your fucking drawers."
I knew it was coming. And it was so funny.
He said, "You guys are like the fucking African bobsled team. You smack a left ass cheek to go right, or go left." Drew slapped his ass cheek to go right, slapped his other ass cheek to go left.
Yeah, that's intense. That's funny. But for me, like, I don't know, my older brothers, especially my oldest brother, Brandon, when we were kids, like, he was the meanest kid. Like, the meanest shit that's ever been said to me in my entire life was said by him in my youngest days. Like, me and my brothers. And the thing is, we did the same thing. We made fun of each other and made jokes, but we also just said straight mean, degrading things to each other. Like, so you had to be tough in that household. And if you weren't a comedian, like, you were not going to survive, because our house was like chaos and just nonstop making fun of each other. You know, if you can make fun of someone until they cry, that's just like bonus points for you as whoever's doing the roasting. If you can make someone get up and leave the room and go pout in the room, that was like the goal whenever we're kids. You know, we're like, 5 to 12 years old, just being mean to each other, and it's all love at some point, but at the same time, it's like it's sibling rivalry. So there's still some seriousness to the jokes that are being said. So it's a lot, and you developed very thick skin. Now you can say anything to me that's a joke, and I'm not gonna get offended. You can say anything to me that's true, and I won't get offended. It's it is what it is. Hey, now after something like that, now we need something uplifting. Play the applause. Put the applause on.
I only put the applause on when there's girl. Never mind.
The applause is for having thick skin, because if you, and this is my opinion, whatever, I think it's important for people to be mentally strong to where that jokes can't bother you. If you don't have to find it funny, but you should be able to be like, whatever, that guy's a jackass,
right?
If someone says something that's just like out of line, you stay calm and be like, you don't gotta be like, that's bullshit, you shouldn't say that, I'm offended, this, that. And she's like,
I don't know, man.
That guy's a jackass.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, on the bus, this shit would get to you. You couldn't escape it.
Absolutely, it does.
Like, dude, I remember Ricky's mom came to the door, and she was a little bit overweight.
She was a lot overweight. Listen to this podcast and be like, this motherfucker's been talking about me all podcast.
There you go.
And Marcus is gonna cry again if he hears this podcast.
Yeah, he probably would. But you know what? It could be thousands of people. So there's so many of those guys. So, and so many Rickies, Richard Sticks. I don't know. So check it out, right? So the thing is I remember, like, the weirdest thing is, like, his mom used to come to the door, and she was really heavy set. And so, again, like I said, everybody would just be waiting for the next day to make jokes about each other, and they were awfully mean. And then all of a sudden, I remember his mom would come to the door, and then Marcus would be like, "Oh, your mom's so fat," jokes. The fat joke. You know the fat joke. Everybody had those jokes.
Oh yeah.
People act like now, like, "Oh my god, you can't see this," dude. Everybody was saying that shit.
Everyone.
And you got roasted for anything. It doesn't matter.
Even
everybody
if you weren't
roasted.
fat, people were making fat.
People were making fat. Yeah, anything. Everybody got roasted. There was no way to get out of it. It was no like, okay, you can't say that about me. That shit didn't exist. You were fucked, and you had to take up for yourself. If anybody called you a name, if you were too skinny, you got picked on.
Yeah.
If you were overweight, you got picked on. People picked on you when you weren't whatever was ideal. And even if you were ideal, if you had anything wrong with you, people would fuck with you.
People pinpoint it. If you're too nice to people, check this out. When I was on the bus, here's a bus story for you. We had a kid who, part of our bus route, we drove by his aunt's house, and we're elementary kids. We're 9-10 years old, and so we drive by his aunt's house. Every time we drive by his aunt's house, he and his aunt, this thing, I love you, the hand signal, they wave it at each other. We make fun of him for that. Like making fun of telling your family member you love her. And like, I think that's like such a sweet, sentimental thing to actually do. Like especially, you and your aunt, you and your family member, whoever you see each other, whenever you just ride by on the bus and you give a little hand signal. But yeah, we make fun of you for that because we're kids and we're mean, and that's what that's what kids do. So it's just part of finding, who we are is getting made fun of and making fun of others, and that's how we socialize as children whenever we're trying to figure out the world and find our place.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, dude. I get it. I fucking get it.
It happens. It must be in our nature because everyone does it.
Yeah.
So not saying it's right. It's just how we. Our egos trying to make us feel cool and put someone else down whenever we're young kids trying to,
Yeah. So let's talk about gas.
Oh my God, I'm so tired of talking about fucking gas.
Let's talk about gas.
All everyone talks about now
Let's
is
talk about gas and Joe Biden
prices.
falling off his fucking bike.
Oh my God, Joe Biden falling off
Joe
his bike.
Biden's so fucking old.
He's too old.
Why is he fucking in the seat? It's only because people didn't want Trump in there. And now we got fucking Biden.
Yeah.
And it's like, fucking Biden, you ain't black if you don't vote.
Joe Biden shouldn't be riding his own bikes. He should be in the baby carriage on the back of the bike that Secret Service is driving. Like Secret Service on a bike, Joe Biden in a baby carriage in the back.
Yeah.
With a binky.
Fucking Joe. Bah. Exactly. I don't know, man. It's crazy. So
it's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing. America's just like, I don't know. I feel like now with social media, America's almost like this like joke. Reality show.
We are a meme. America's a meme. America is just what's the meme of the week, And I feel like our last two presidents, I don't know, they're I don't know.
They delegitimize us.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just
they
like kind of joke.
So whack. I didn't like George Bush, but at least whenever
that's Obama's cousin.
Probably.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
That's his fucking cousin.
George Bush and Obama?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Dick Cheney's George Bush's cousin. So is Obama. They're all fucking cousins.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But George Bush.
Welcome to the conspiracy world. That's the reality.
You remember when he was in Iraq and someone tried to throw that shoe at him?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Threw two at him. He dodged that shit like it was nothing. Joe Biden could never.
No, but George Bush is a country boy. Country boy can't survive. Yeehaw!
George Bush ain't a country boy. He's from Connecticut and picked up a Texas accent.
I mean, hey, I'm from Connecticut.
George Bush grew up in a political family in Connecticut.
But you know what happens in Connecticut? Connecticut's the place where all the presidents die, right? Like this is like all the old presidents, all that weird shit, skulls and bones.
Oh yeah,
all that skulls and bones shit.
Skull and boners.
That shit all happens in Connecticut, right? Like seriously, like when I was a kid growing up, like there was a milk carton shit. Like we grew up and they were like, "Hey, look, be careful, don't talk to strangers, blah blah blah." People will be missing. A milk carton. There was like rumors, like everybody knew, like there was like these, people who were doing shit, and they would take the kids and they would be like, those milk carton kids, and they'd be like, be careful because there was like rumors that there was like devil worshippers in these rich families.
Yeah, that was rumors even way back then.
Yeah. It
makes sense.
Rumors. But you would find, like, you would go in the woods and shit. You'd see, like, if you go far in the woods, you see, like, shit burned, like, crosses. And you see, like, little stars of David and shit like that. Like, not stars of David, but you know what I mean? Like, like little devil shit. You go in the woods, you find people doing that all the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People are fascinating, man.
But I'm saying, like, in the Connecticut area.
Yeah.
Where like, you found a lot of occult shit.
Oh yeah,
in that area, that's where like the witch trials and shit. That's
where my mind was just going. It's like, I mean, they were tricking people into thinking women were witches back then, so they could persecute them.
But people really don't understand that there's a whole another fucking world over just in that area.
Yeah,
and like there's people that believe in that shit, and there's people that are really worshiping
that's
spirits.
Crazy. I follow this girl on TikTok,
Amityville.
Yeah,
that shit's there.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that area.
I'll follow this girl on TikTok, KK Blondie, and all she mostly
KK Blondie. What the
posts-
fuck are you following?
KK Blondie.
Okay.
KAY.
Like KKK? What are we doing?
No. KAY. Her name's Kayla.
KY Jelly. What?
Yeah, I'm friends with her. Like Kayla. is her
KY
name.
Jelly. What do you mean?
But she lives in Connecticut, and she's always posting like these spooky abandoned places, and it's just like creepy vibes everywhere.
Connecticut's creepy.
And it's just like, why is Connecticut old abandoned castles and spooky? Just everything about Connecticut is like I've never been. So my view of Connecticut is what I see on TikTok and Instagram. But yeah, it's just like spooky, middle of nowhere stuff. But it's cool because like the beginning of America's, all that Upper East Coast.
Yeah, New England. Connecticut's a different place. It's cool, but it's a different place for sure. But love it, love Connecticut. But you just will find some weird shit. That's where you hear the bones and skulls, all those little things, and definitely people will be missing. I remember my stepdad. He got like when I was like little, like he was walking and he got arguing with my mom or something. So he just took a long walk for like miles, and then like 5 younger guys just jumped out of their car and just beat him with like a fucking 4x4. And then he beat the fuck out of all of them and then put him in the hospital.
This was your dad?
It's my stepfather.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah. But he was a big guy. He was a strong guy.
Clearly, if he
We used to
beat
call him
up
a
4
fucking
guys,
handyman. Yeah, but they thought they jumped out the car and they thought they were gonna fuck him up.
Not today.
Yeah, not it didn't happen. He was already mad at my mom.
Yeah, so he's got some adrenaline coming. He's like, he was just waiting for someone to take that aggression out on him.
Yeah, he was like,
he's like, this is what I would do to my wife if we could beat women. Still.
right. Oh shit, shut up. You're gonna get us in trouble, buddy. Yeah, Alex Jones, where you at? Sorry, no, I'm fucking with you. No, I'm just saying, like, it's crazy though, like that shit really happened though, like, but like it's Bible, that shit happened, so it's crazy shit,
Yeah,
but yeah, I grew up with some interesting people in Connecticut, man. Candace Owens, I think, is from Connecticut. She's from
Where?
Stamford, Connecticut.
Really?
I was born in Stamford, Connecticut. Candace Owens is from there. Yeah.
She's a card.
Yeah, she's a Yank. Yep. She's a Yankee.
Yeah.
Can't tell? All right, no, I'm just fucking with you. No, I mean, I don't know, but you grew up in Missouri. What the
Yeah.
fuck is in Missouri? Who's in Missouri?
Just Nelly.
Just Nelly.
Nelly, Cedric the Entertainer.
What, are you
Red Fox is from Missouri.
Are you guys like the South, or are you guys not? Like, what's the weird thing
Missouri,
about that?
So a lot of people think Missouri is the South because
I think the people in Missouri think they're the South.
this is facts, and we're not. But it's crazy. So a little
Exactly.
Missouri history for you. Confederate flag, 12 stars for the 12 states that were in the Confederacy. Missouri has a star on that flag. Missouri was supposed to be part of the Confederacy, but I don't remember the exact details, but essentially Abe Lincoln was like, and Missouri fought for the Union during the Civil War, so we were part of the North. And technically, regionally, we're Midwest, but it's very southern over there, especially if you're in the bottom half of the state. They don't call it Missouri, they call it Missouri, and yeah, it's not a lot going on over there. Although St. Louis is cool, I love St. Louis. Kansas City is really nice, but if you're ever in Missouri, Lake of the Ozarks is probably like the place to go because it's like,
Is that a real place?
the Lake of the Ozarks is like one of the funnest places you can be in America.
Shut up.
So
I thought it was just a Netflix fucking thing.
So the Lake of the Ozarks is the good part of like what they show in the Ozarks. So the Ozark show, the locals they come out, but when you're there in the summertime and it's more touristy and the regular people, it's like the funnest place because it's the biggest man-made lake in the world. There's no speed limit on the water. You can drive your boat as fast as you want. There's no curfew on the water. The whole lake.
Can you pee in the water?
You can poop in the water if
Awesome.
you want. The whole lake is just bars everywhere. People just pull up on their boats, have some drinks, party, go to the next spot. As long as you're not drinking and driving, you pretty much do whatever you want.
Sick.
Super fun.
Gotta hit the Ozarks.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking about this whole Netflix thing, so I'm like,
Yeah, don't worry
fuck the
about it.
Ozarks.
It's not like, I mean, it is,
You got cartels in the lake? What's going on?
I don't know. Probably. There's, middle rural America is, plagued by this beautiful, ugly crystal called meth. I'm not saying it's beautiful. They think it's beautiful. But in the Ozarks is infested with it. Just like every other, like tiny,
I mean, when you're in smaller towns, a lot of people do meth.
Yeah.
Like for some reason, like America's like shitty little small country towns are meth heads.
Yeah.
Like every little town that I know that has like a bunch of meth heads is little country ass towns.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? You go back there. What?
Yeah.
I think it's because you have nothing to do.
It's there's nothing to do. There's a lack of law enforcement. Like, so the town that I lived in for the first 6 years of my life didn't even have a police force. It's like 1,000 people, 800 people maybe. Nope, not even a police force.
What you talking about, Willis?
Ladonia, Missouri.
Wow.
That's where I lived the first 6 years of my life. It was like the meth capital of the world in the 90s, dude. Like Audrain County was like, because there was no police force and it's nothing to do out there. And people are, I don't know. But
That's wild.
not everyone's like that. There's a ton of good, upstanding people there too. But there's a good chunk of people there that it's definitely an epidemic. I mean, you know, we talk about the opioid crisis and things like that. Something that doesn't get talked about enough is like the meth problem. Like what crack was in the 80s to the black community, that's meth in the like the poor white community. Like crack to the poor black community, meth to the poor white community. They're like parallels. And it's kind of like they come from the same place, the government. And then, you know, they just destroy these communities for money and whatever other reason. But that's, you know, part of whatever we're doing over here.
Yeah. Let's talk about what do we have on the radar, man? You're out here in the Burbank, NoHo area, man.
Yeah.
What's going on over here? A lot of creators right in this area.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I love this area. It's like such a good location to be in LA. I mean, obviously, you know, you want to be in like the Beverly Hills area because that means, you know, you got it like that. That means you're A-list once you make it over to the West Side. But you know, all the creators that haven't made it there yet, we're in the valley up here. But I love it up here. The location's great. You can get anywhere super quick. You meet a ton of people out here, people that are like really got great ideas, doing really cool things. Some funny people. There's some good comedy clubs out here. There's a good comedy club a couple blocks away from where we're sitting right now.
Which one? The Aha?
Flappers. Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank.
Ah.
Yeah, Haha Comedy Club's in
That's
NoHo.
in NoHo, right?
NoHo's, yeah, I love Haha Comedy Club too. They're great too. They're like my favorite place to practice new material. Yeah, especially if I got material that I'm like iffy about, that I'm like, I don't know if this is funny. Because their open mics is like, it's a bunch of comedians and it's not like there's not a ton of people that come in from the public. So, you know, it's like, when it's you and a bunch of comedians, they're rooting for you versus, you know, you go into a comedy club with a general audience and there's high expectations. Like, this guy better fucking make me laugh, right? But when you got just comedians, it's like they're rooting for you. And, you know, when you mess up, they know where you mess up, so they think that's funny. It's like it's part of this process of, you know, we're just working on jokes here at these open mics. So it's not like I gotta hit everything perfect, but they're rooting for you. You know, you get tips on, you know, after your set, whatever, kind of talk about, chum it up, whatever. But yeah, I've met some of the coolest people at Haha Comedy Club, and they even have like celebrities drop in there too. And same with Flappers. I've met some really cool people at both of those places.
Yeah, I knew this one kid who his dad used to run one of them. I think the Aha one in NoHo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's a while back ago. I remember that. But yeah, pretty cool shit. There's a lot of creative people here. A lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of like social media people that started out like in the NoHo area.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Definitely.
A lot of the people here, a lot of people that, you know, they follow now on TikTok.
Yeah.
They originally started off in Vine. That was when I left LA.
Yeah.
Is when it all started popping out. Yeah. I mean, dude, some of those people used to be on Move Faces TV.
Dude, no bullshit. Like the people that I see a lot on social media, the King Bach, King Bach, King Kieran, like they go to the same gym that I used to go to before the pandemic. I see all these people, all the female influencers that all they do is like booty workouts and shit. Like they all go to the same gym that I was going to. I was going to the 24. And I don't know if they all go in there anymore. Probably not some of the people, because some of the people done moved on. Like King Batch, I can't imagine he's still in the valley anymore. No way, that dude's like really doing his thing. But yeah, like those up and coming influencers, they all were in this area at one point, because I used to see every single one of them at the gym.
Yeah, I mean they all started out here in NoHo, right over here, over near Lancashire in that area.
Yeah. This is the place to start, and then
because they all used to live around here. Because when I lived here, they weren't really like, I didn't know them of doing anything. Some of them used to work with me when I used to do like Move Faces TV events, and things like that. And they were some of them started off as like, you know, doing like hosting for our red carpet events.
Nice.
Yeah. So we had like Leanne V there, and then she dated King Bach. Like this all happened. Like when I left here, that all that stuff kind of all started, happening.
Yeah.
She blew up. I never met King Bach actually before that time. I mean, because there was nothing to make him like popping at the time.
Yeah,
it was just like another person coming here trying to act, and so you wouldn't have known him to be anybody.
Yeah.
But when Vine came out, I think they just felt like it as a platform to kind of like jump on it and pivot themselves into stardom.
Yeah, and put yourself out there, and it worked.
Yeah, because Lee was just just doing my red carpets, and I just like, hey, this is Leanne V. You're watching Move Faces TV, and I'm standing here with such and such celebrity, and I'd have the media out there, and that was all that. And she would do little gigs here and there, and she knew a couple little celebrities like Steve Urkel and shit like that. But and like Keenan and Kel, those old school cats. Like she knew those kind of guys, but that was about it. I mean, from what I know, but like she was always like a great person. Her family were awesome. Like I remember, like every time she would come, and I would talk to her about any of the things that we were going to be doing. Her parents would come, which I thought was awesome. They're very religious, and her parents would come to her fucking. We were just talking business. They were always there. Yeah. Even when she was actually airing, they were there. And they were older, and so they were just fucking there. I mean, we got partying, red carpets, drinks. Their parents are right there, Kristen, just standing there. They didn't drink or anything, but they were standing there proud of their daughter. Really great support. So I thought that was pretty fucking awesome. I never saw that much support from parents, especially being very religious and still being out there. Yeah, and still keeping it.
Especially out here, like so many people in the valley, especially like we're transplants. Like so many of us come from other places. That's like we came to LA to do cartoons or acting or comedy, whatever it is, music. So like it's tough to get that kind of support whenever a lot of us are hundreds or thousands of miles away from the people that were giving us that support. So to have people that are like can be in it with you and really show up for you, that's like super dope.
Yeah, it is pretty dope. Yeah, I don't know, it's crazy, man. Dude, have you heard of the the NAD? Have you heard of that shit? NAD, it's like I forgot exactly how you break up the acronym, but it basically is something that you take. You can get like shots of it or like IV of it, and it slows down the aging process.
Wow, no, I'm not familiar with this.
Yeah, so all your AA8 listers, not all of them, but most of your AA listers, like the Kardashians and shit like that, they're all taking that shit because it slows down your age. Because we figured out what causes people to age, and it's as you older you get, the NAD stops producing itself.
Okay.
So what you can do is get like this injection of it through like what do you call it, through IV, and you can get it like for like a couple, about a week or so or something like that or whatever. Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but that helps. It slows down your aging completely. Not completely forever, but
I was gonna say completely,
not completely forever, but
give me that. I'm gonna see how long I can.
But it slows you down, and also like if you have like COVID and shit, like it supposedly like helps your like you get rid of that fogginess from COVID.
Oh, okay. Have you had COVID?
Yeah.
I feel like anyone who hasn't had COVID yet, you're a dork if you haven't had COVID yet. Everyone should have had COVID by now. Because if you haven't had COVID, you're spending too much time in the house.
Yeah. I mean, I had it at the later stage when it was like the variant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was traveling. I was doing everything normal. I never got the original one, but then the OG, I didn't get it.
Yeah, I don't mean like the OG. I mean at some point. Like I mean, we're 2 years into this now. So,
but I was doing mostly everything normal, but I didn't get the OG. Yeah, I got the variant.
I had the OG. I had the first time I've had COVID twice. I had it in August 2020. That was when I got the OG, and it's crazy how different it affects people because I have friends who are my age. I'm 31. I got friends who are my age that had it, and they were like exhausted for like a month, and had to have help being taken care of because they couldn't have the strength to move around their house all day. They just like, well, one of my homegirls, she said she couldn't even make it from the bedroom to the kitchen without taking a break on the way. And my experience with COVID, easiest sickness I've ever had in my adult life. I was basically like kind of tired for a couple days, little sniffly for half a day, and that was it. And then I was ready to roll. And then like my mom got COVID. Shit almost killed her. She was in the hospital on the ventilator, all that. Wow. Yeah, and this was in April 2020, so this was whenever everyone was still scared and we didn't know what to do about anything or anyone. We're just like, put them in the hospital, put them on a ventilator. We don't know.
But you know what though, the difference is too as well is the older you get, the less vitamin D you're able to like absorb at a normal level or create or some shit like that. Like you get it from the sun, but like there's like a normal baseline level that you can kind of continuously, I guess, maintain.
Okay.
But the older you get, the less you're able to maintain it or something shit like that. So your immune system begins to be compromised. And then also think about you staying inside the house. If you work in the house and you don't really go outside anymore, the older you get because you just stay in the house, now you lack vitamin D. And if you don't know that you lack vitamin D3, you know, from not having that sun exposure, then you're gonna be, your immune system's gonna be compromised. Yeah. And so what happens is they'll get fucking COVID and they'll get really sick and they'll be like, oh shit, what's the matter with me? And they have to put on the ventilators because their immune system isn't working normally. Right. So what I'm saying is most likely, I'm not a doctor, but probably what happened to your mom is she was probably in the house most of the time. Her vitamin D3 was lower than what it is because she's of age and she hasn't probably been checking it. And taking supplements, and then COVID got her. Her immune system was compromised. Now you would think that your immune system is at its baseline because you don't have any like so-called like sicknesses or illnesses, but technically, if you don't have the proper amount of D3, your immune system is compromised.
Yeah, like you gotta have levels of everything kind of up there because
you do
everything in your body's connected, right? So everything like kind of functions. You need everything for everything to function properly together because if something is lacking, you got to pull that from somewhere else from your body. And so there's always a give and take if you're lacking something. But yeah, I think, I don't know, my experience with COVID was cool. My mom's was a little rough, but she made full recovery and everything's beautiful. And my thing is like, I think regardless of, you know, if you're worried about COVID or this or that, just get out of the house. Just don't be cooped up in the house all the time. If you're comfortable wearing a mask, if you want to wear 10 masks and a plastic shield over your face and put yourself in a bubble, do your thing. Just don't be in the house all day because you'll go crazy in there.
Yeah, you will. I mean, I think everybody kind of did.
Yeah, absolutely.
It changed everyone for sure.
Definitely. Everyone's kind of had their own issues. But my experience, honestly, like the beginning of the pandemic was cool because me and my brothers were all living in California and everything is like locked down, right? We were getting together every single weekend and barbecuing. Like,
wait, what?
Me and my brothers, like when we were all living in California during the pandemic, right? And everything is like on lockdown for the first however many months, and like everything's closed, there's nowhere to go, nothing to do. But we were getting together and barbecuing every weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I was chilling with some of my friends consistently.
Absolutely. Yeah, same. Like,
but some of my friends got weirded out because they were just like always stuck in the house and they couldn't do the things we were doing normally, like hanging out and partying and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, not that I was doing it all the time, but every once in a while we'd sync up. Yeah. And they were able to do that, and they weren't able to do that anymore, and so they got really like depressed and they just got crazy.
Yeah, I would have too, honestly, man. If I didn't have my family out here during the pandemic, I don't know what I would have done. I'd have been losing my mind because I'd have been FaceTiming my family every day. I'd be like, yo, I don't know what to do. Like I'm losing it out here. Like someone come hang out with me, whatever it takes. Like, dude, whatever. I don't care if I get COVID. Someone come hang. But yeah, it was so my experience was cool. Like I was super lucky to have my fam out here, and I wasn't really hanging out with too many other people. You know, it was usually, you know, the places I needed to go, and then hanging with the fam and, you know, linking up, having drinks, having good food, and having a good time while the rest of the world is like cooped up inside, and you know we're out enjoying ourselves. Not like out in public, you know, just, you know, the typical fam gathering at the house. But yeah, I wasn't gonna. You ain't keeping me in the house all day every day.
You ain't keeping him in the house.
No,
not doing that to Trenton.
Not you. You have to lock me up. Like, no way am I doing that. You know, we know how important the sun is for us. Like, so you're telling me that I'm best off inside all day every day, whenever like the sun is one of the best things for medicine in the world.
Yeah, people in the sun, man. Rage. I don't know, man. So yeah, it's crazy, man. So like, I don't know. I think we were talking about earlier, like about how crazy, like, you know, the world is now. History.
Yeah, it's wild.
You know,
wild times we live in,
and technology. Just like everything's just wild. But it's like, you know, some of the stuff we were talking about earlier is just like, I just wonder why. Like, you ever wonder why? Like, we find out new things in history, and we find out them to be, you know, debunked or false.
Yeah.
We don't like correct it. Like there's no like automatic like, you know, like the blockchain.
Yeah,
we verified it and corrected.
We need a historical ledger.
Like
of
we don't
everything that's
like
permanent
history
and real.
like keeps on getting like redefined and we're finding out these things are false and there's no update.
Yeah.
And people go around believing these historical things as if they were facts, and then we realize later it's false. And it's like we're still like, but people are walking around talking about it. Like example, Columbus, you know, being the first person or first European known to be in the Americas, when we know that, you know, Leif Erikson was here prior. Yeah. And, you know, as a Viking. And it's like, I don't know. It's just weird that we don't update that, and everybody doesn't know that consistently. Like that's not changing the books immediately, right? Like I wonder if it's like because it's too expensive. We just don't update the information. So kids just go around with old ass information. It's like dated as fuck. Kids are still learning shit that's false, and it's just like it's weird.
Yeah, it is, and everything you just said, it is weird. And I think a big issue with it though is, I think the biggest issue is not necessarily not updating the books and stuff, because you can just have your teacher be like, oh well, unfortunately guys, this part of the book is wrong because this book was printed 10 years ago and 5 years ago we found this out, whatever. But I think the bigger problem is when you have people that won't accept facts, you know, and it's great to question new information, and you should question new information, but in this world we live in where cognitive dissonance seems to be at an all-time high, where you can present somebody with new information, and instead of them looking at it with an open mind, they just completely reject it.
Yeah, I agree with you, because like people have been brainwashed already in their mind, and so they kind of believe this thing to be true, even if it's not true. They're like, no, that didn't happen, dog. Yeah, that didn't happen, dog. It happened like this. I don't believe that. Yeah, and people are quick to dismiss you. Yeah, you know,
and the problem is like the way some people are now. It's like you could show them video, and they're like, nope, still don't believe it. It's fake. Doctor,
I mean, it's kind of just like how people will sit there and talk about. They'll be, you know, you'll hear people, you know, you had Juneteenth that just happened previously, and you hear like some people still, you know, preaching about Jim Crow laws. Like I heard like this one African American cat, he was just like, you know, if you're one drop of this, you're that, you know. He's like da 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 da, because it's just the way it is. It's the law. It's how it is. And like, bro, that was like Jim Crow. And you know, like if you really look up that one drop bullshit, you can look up that law didn't last very long, because what happened is a lot of the people in Virginia realized that they had recent African ancestry. And so they're like, oh shit, well that fucks that puts us all in fucking well Ted, you know, that fucks us. So
if they had like this one drop rule, that would be like the raddest thing to do with a time machine, to go back with like a 23andMe kit and be like, you guys all have at least a little bit in you.
I mean, it is true though. I mean, especially if you're like Italian and shit, right? Like you easily, like all my Italian buddies all came back with a good, you know, 8 or something percentage. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, and they weren't like, oh, you know, they said that was way back, bro. That was way back. Well,
if you want to put this one drop rule in place, we got to stick to it, guys.
Right. So. That's what I'm saying. Like you have to understand, like you put everybody in Latin America for the most part in that rule, but it's like, come on, bro. Like there's more slaves in Latin America that ever came to the United States, and mostly everybody has this descendants to some extent. And it's like even fucking what was the guy who murdered Trayvon Martin? What was his name? George Zimmerman. Zimmerman, his grandfather was an African Latino, and it's like, you know, it's like who's not African, you know, at some point, you know, within recent times of mixing in the Americas. It's kind of silly.
Yeah, definitely. And even if you go back further, I mean, those 23andMe kits or Ancestry, whoever does like the super detailed one, like they'll be like, yeah, you're 0.5% Ethiopian, you're 0.5% West African. Like, so, you know, if you got a time machine, that's what you want to do with it. You could take over the whole South. You'd be like, your plantation is mine now because you're 0.5% West African. So this is mine. You work here now for free. You don't own it anymore. That's a rad thing to do with the time machine.
There you go. You got to do that shit. We got to do that shit with the time machine. No, I'm just saying, like in general, it's like if you look at a lot of these people that say stupid shit, like they'll be like one drop rule. And this one kid says like, oh, one drop rule, it's real, man. It depends on what America considers you. I was like, bro, so are you telling me that the Constitution says you're 3/5 of a human? Do you buy that shit? Do you walk around and believe that shit? Okay, then, motherfucker. Then what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You don't walk out. Oh man, in America they said 3/5 of human, so that's what I fucking am. Like, are you serious, motherfucker? No, you're not. You're denouncing that shit.
Yeah.
So don't say that this is the way it is.
Yeah.
In America, this is the way it is. In America, this is the way. Well, then what happens when other people who come from other countries come here and they have that ancestry? They don't just switch to, oh shit, I'm black today.
Right. Yeah,
I'm black.
Yeah.
Oh, mira.
Yeah.
¿Qué pasa, mi blackie?
Yeah.
Okay. Tamareno.
Yeah, definitely. And it's funny because like where like some of the Afro Latinos that I know, they're like very clear that like I'm not African American, and so because I'm Afro Latino, right? I want my kind of background to be respected and like or at least known.
We need you closer to the mic, baby boy.
My bad. So whenever I have experience talking to Afro Latinos who it's very clear that they're not African American, right? So like when I don't even remember where I was going with this.
I don't know. I think here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna fucking say it. I'm gonna say it good.
Do your thing.
So there's the whole Afro Latino thing is it's a little bit of a variance of like who the fuck is Afro Latino? Because if you start looking at it, mostly everybody in Latin America has some type of African ancestry, right? Because there's so many Africanos that came to Latin America. It was the first slave shit that started over there in Latin America first. I don't care where you go. The Sugar Canes, Cuba, Dominican Republic, you got Mexico, Veracruz, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
La Bamba, that's a slave song.
Yeah.
Talking about, soy capitan, that's who the fuck is the captain? Okay?
Yeah.
Yenga, you go see a lot of like Mexican stores, sometimes you'll see Yenga. That was an African guy who helped free the natives who were in Mexico. Okay? You've been having like Yenga cell phone, but this was Jasper Yenga. He was the African guy. There's statues of him in Mexico. There's the Olmecs. I mean, come on, bro. We got a whole Lionel Richie set going on, bro. You know what I'm saying? We got a Jackson 5 happening.
Yeah.
So it's just like, at what point is who and who's what at certain points? And I feel like it's more like, can you tell somebody is something morally? Is that what it is? But I think like overall, if somebody says that's what they are, it's what they are.
Yeah.
You got to respect it.
Yeah.
But why would you? And then and also, isn't it almost like alienating a parent when you say like, nah, my other parent didn't exist. I'm only my mom's parent.
What do you mean?
I'm saying like if one person's, for example, let's say if you're playing American games.
Yeah.
And you're like, one parent is European or American or white, whatever you want to call it. And then one parent is so-called African American. And they're like, nah, actually, I'm just only black. And it's like, all right, that's cool. Say that. You can say what you want to say. But if other people just start saying, oh no, by default, you're this, that's just like denouncing one of the fucking parents.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like, oh, he ain't really my kid. I mean, this is what was going on in slavery.
Yeah.
The reason why this whole thing came up is so they can, there was like fucking, slave owners who were like disowning the kids, and so they could have more slaves.
Yeah.
You were disowning, you know what I'm saying?
insane,
I'm gonna disown my
right?
kid, dog. And a lot of things that people really don't understand is that in the Americas, it just wasn't African, ancestry who were slaves. A lot of Native Americans were first slaves first.
Yeah.
And a lot of Native Americans were slaves in Latin America in general.
We had a lot of white slaves here too at the beginning.
That's true too.
And then,
Irish, yeah.
And then it was like people started like slavery was frowned upon. So then we're like, okay, well, how can we make these people think slavery is okay? It's like, okay, we can spin this shit into some racism, like some hardcore racism, and we can get everyone behind us.
But I'm just saying like this though.
Yeah.
And I get that shit. But what kind of thing is that to say like, if you're only this one culture can only say this, and it's always going to be this, and the other cultures can be whatever they want to be, no matter whatever they mix with.
Yeah.
But this one little culture in the United States, we have to say that they can only be this over and over again. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because if you just say that somebody's black by default every generation because they have some generation of African in them, like at what point are they not?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, what point are you not? Like,
Yeah.
come on. Like, what point are you not? Like, Jesus Christ. And then at what point, what is white?
Yeah. I mean, because like you make a good point. Because like if you're half white, half black, like you say, I'm black, and are you denouncing the other parent? I don't know. I'm not mixed, and I don't have kids.
That you know of.
True. So so I'm not in that position. So I don't have any idea what that experience is like. So
But you like mixed drinks, right?
love mixed.
You're
drinks.
mixed.
There you go. I also like my drinks usually straight up.
But I guess I'm just saying too as well. Like
sure.
even like back on the whole Afro Latino thing, it's like it's cool. But like, there's so many people that have African ancestry in Latin America. There's so many people that have indigenous ancestry in Latin America. So it's like at some point, like who can say Afro Latino at a certain point? Like, is that like you have to look African, or is it just more just like I can say whatever I want to say because if I can claim it, I can claim it.
Maybe that's the way to do it. You say what if you can claim it, you can claim it.
I think you should. If you can claim it, you can claim it. But my thing is like if that's in your ancestry, if you have a mixed ancestry, for people to tell you can't is ridiculous.
Yeah.
To
Definitely.
tell you no, I see you as this. What the fuck does that mean? Okay, so you see The Rock as this black guy walking around? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
You ain't got time for that, bro.
Yeah.
You Samoan, right? Or Hawaiian or something. I don't know. You're not. Oh no, he's definitely. He's one of. Come on, bro. Like really?
Yeah.
Logic. He looks white. You're most likely gonna call Logic white because he looks mostly white.
Yeah.
Most people are gonna call him white. You go, no, wait, he's grandma or his father's has African American ancestry. I mean, Logic says his father's black, but like, see, then that's Jim Crow and his father because there's no way that he's looking like how he's looking if his father's like all 100% straight from the motherland.
I'm like
We're all from Africa at some point.
Significantly darker than Logic, like by skin tone.
Bruh, I met Logic, bro.
Yeah.
I met Logic, dude, like a couple years ago. I sold a phone to him, dude. I was doing a part-time job in San Jose, and I was doing my startup, and I was raising capital, and I was like, dude, I'm burning so much fucking money. Let me go take a job. One of my friends said, hey, I've got this position open. Hey, can you help us out here? You don't do anything. I was like, yeah, let me do it. I'll fucking start burning cash. So I took a part-time job at a cell phone place, and Logic walks fucking in, and he's like, hey, do you know who I am? I'm like, no. He's like, you're going to know who I am one day. Everybody's going to be knowing me. Watch. I was like, all right, cool. Yeah.
That's the story?
Yeah, that's it. But you know what? The one day I did know him. And then like all of Logic's raps, he's always talking about how he's like half black.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, really? Like, come on, bro. You're not really half black. You're not really half black. Your father's a little bit something.
Yeah.
Somewhere down, come on, bro. Like, seriously? Like, if you took him over...
Okay, so let me ask
you. Go
ahead. You saying, come on, bro, you're not half black. Is that kind of being hypocritical of what we were just talking about? Because we're saying, if he says he's half black, don't we have to honor that?
I mean, I have to honor it to an extent of like him having African ancestry.
Yeah.
But to say that he's half black is not reality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about like numbers. I'm not talking about like feelings. Like everybody gets stuck in their feelings. I'm talking about actual numbers. If you fucking went there and you did DNA, is he half black? Come on, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Get the strap. That's just not real, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that does happen, but come on, Logic. Your father has some European ancestry and probably a lot more than the average African American in the United States. And as a matter of fact, a lot of African Americans in the United States have some percentage of European.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's like, it's almost just like Latin America, but it's just a different variety and a different mix. You know, Latin America is typically, African and indigenous and European. Mm-hmm. This is what it typically is. And just you shake it up and that's what it is. But like people in the United States, they're stuck on this, like, there's just like colonialism bullshit that's different. There's different colonialistic rules here. They're like, oh, they're trying to keep slaves. And then there's like people sitting there bringing up Jim Crow shit that happened a long time ago. Oh no, man, dude, my grandma said, or, the law considers this. I'm like, bro, have you taken the census? I don't see that shit in the census.
Yeah.
The census says, what are you? You can check what the fuck you want to check, which it should be reality. You know what I'm saying? And I get it at a certain point, like, if you want to identify certain things, like if you can't tell, I know it may be harder. So there's a difference. Like, okay, I don't look at all like this, so I understand that I have to explain this to people. But literally, people can kind of tell there's something there, like by majority. You walking around and like, man, are you from, Europe? And you're like, nah, bro. Yeah. I'm just light skinned. Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me?
So I kind of think there's two parts to this though, because I feel like you have your own experience and you have what you want to identify as, right? But at the same time, like,
I'm saying if you look like you from South Africa, I mean not South Africa, West Africa, you look like you from Nigeria, and you walk around like, nah, bruh, I'm white. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
If you go the opposite way around, is this reality, bro? Well, this is what fucking people are telling us. Yeah. when you're talking to people now, it sounds insane. Are you
Yeah.
serious, bro? You looking like you straight up Nigeria? You talking about you're white? What are you talking about, bro?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this is the concern. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we can look at Drake.
yeah.
Come on, bro. Like there's somewhere, bro.
Yeah,
Like he can
yeah,
say
yeah.
that you don't think that people are going to be able to tell that he has some other of some type of like mixture of ancestry of
Yeah,
some
yeah.
sense. Like I'm just saying, if you can tell, obviously, come on, bro. Like I get it if you can't tell, but if you
Yeah.
want to claim whatever you want to claim, that's fine. But I'm just saying, at what point does it just seem like silly when people are like, nah, bro, he's really this
Yeah.
because he's got one drop.
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the strap.
And I think public perception, I think that matters too. Whenever if we're talking about something like this, because so I'll give you an example. I got this homegirl who her name's Brittany.
Brittany, ooh, yeah. I want this.
Looks regular white girl with blonde hair, has Mexican in her, and
But what's Mexican?
what do you mean?
What's Mexican? It's a nationality.
Yeah,
It's not an actual race.
correct. But okay, so let me see.
See,
She looks like a regular American girl. She
Okay.
looks like a regular blonde American girl. But we had this conversation one time about like,
But I'm gonna interrupt that for 1 second.
Do
Hold
your
that
thing.
thought. That happens all the time. People will consider a nationality. People confuse nationality with race.
yeah, everyone does it.
Like
we do it all the
but
time.
you don't see motherfuckers saying, "No, I'm Nigerian, dog."
Yeah,
They goes, "Oh, you're black."
yeah. So
Oh, I'm Mexican.
the point of this conversation is she's like barely Mexican, right? But we were having a conversation about race or something, and she's saying something about how I don't remember. I don't remember the exact conversation. Maybe whether America is or isn't racist, or how racist it is, or whatever. And she hasn't experienced racism, and she's part Mexican. And I'm like,
How can you be part Mexican?
I'm like,
It's like
I think
I'm just saying. It's just.
no. She told me, I don't remember, her grandpa or something. Maybe I don't know. Either
I
way.
mean, but you can't be part of a nationality. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it's
Well-
like I'm part. It's like I mean you can, but you can't. Like
Yeah.
it's not like a race though. I think people use it in. People start using.
okay, then what
in
race would
a
you say-
phrase of race.
What race would you say a Mexican person is?
There is no race in Mexico. Everybody's just mixed race.
Okay.
Most people are mixed race.
Okay.
Go do a
That's fair.
DNA
Yeah.
test. It's,
No, I'm not arguing. I'm
no, I'm
legitimately
not
asking.
saying you're
Yeah,
arguing.
yeah.
I'm not saying you're arguing.
No,
but I'm
not
just
even-
saying, like,
yeah,
let's
I'm legit asking.
everybody learned basic fucking history in school, right?
Yeah.
Mexico was invaded by the Spanish. Who else was there? The Native Americans,
Yeah.
right? Then there were the Africans who were brought there. So what the fuck do you have left over?
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden
Yeah,
we're like,
Mexico.
oh no, man, it's just Mexico. You're Mexican.
Yeah.
Okay, but you don't say you're fucking English.
No, of course
We're
not.
from America. Why aren't we
Yeah.
English?
So
If you're half American, can you
Yeah.
be half American?
if your
But I'm-
dad's Canadian.
But I'm saying if you walked around the United States and nah, man, I'm half American.
Yeah.
And I'm half British. People would be like, but what are you, bro? Are you white?
Yeah.
That's still white. People are
Yeah.
gonna say that, right?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
See?
Yeah.
But when it comes to certain Latin American countries, people start acting like they've been there for like thousands of years.
Yeah.
This shit's only been here since the United States started. How the fuck you become a race
Yeah.
in 500 years?
That makes sense. That makes sense. So the point of what I was saying is, so she's saying, okay, so
But people say that though.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
But it's just it doesn't make any sense though if you really.
it doesn't.
That's all I'm saying.
If you want to be technical about it, but
I mean, it's not even technical. It's reality though.
yeah, for sure.
But people say it. I get it.
People say it, so we just accept it as
I'm
what it
having.
is.
I'm part Haitian.
So anyway, she's part Mexican, right? And she's telling me she's part Mexican and hasn't experienced racism. And even though she's part Mexican, I'm like, girl, you may be part Mexican. I don't, whatever. It doesn't matter because you don't look like you are, which means you don't have the Mexican experience in America. You don't have any idea what it's like to be Mexican in America because you look like a white girl. When people see you, they think you're a regular blonde white girl, a regular blonde American girl, and you don't have Mexican features. So you don't know what that's like to be Mexican in America, even if you are part Mexican, because you're not perceived as Mexican by other people, which means you're not treated like a Mexican by other people. You're just American to other people.
Because the problem about that is America seems to have this fetishization of like thinking of Latin America as these phenotypes. And there's these stereotype phenotypes that when you go to Latin America, you realize you don't know what the fuck you're talking about because we just get people that we see and we popularize them. You know, it happens in Latin America, Telemundo too as well. They'll put the lightest Spaniard looking people on the TV and be like, oh man, you know, Jorge, you know, they're like Eduardo, you know, it's like, but like, you know, the darker ones, like they don't put them on TV. But when you go over, like, what the hell? Yeah. Hey, you look like P. Diddy. Yeah. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's ridiculous. I think my point is in general, like, because I need to make a point, is that, you know, you got people like, there are people with blonde hair and blue eyes in Mexico. And there's people in Mexico that you would easily say they're white. Yeah. So it's just like America's idea that they think Mexico or Latin America is a race. By the nationality. Yeah. That's the problem. It's not really her problem. Yeah. It's really Americans' problem in the world. It's the propaganda machine that promotes like, oh, Latina, oh, Latino, Latin America. You know, oh, you got to look like indigenous. You kind of have to look indigenous a little bit, Italian looking, right? And that means Latino. Yeah. You know, but then now people are seeing like Don Omar, you know, people are seeing other Spanish speakers, Cardi B and things like that, and they look all variant, and they're like, you know, they're seeing J Balvin. J Balvin considers himself white, you know, but to how many Americans would they say J Balvin is white? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, it gets absolutely different. See how it gets different?
Yeah, definitely.
You know, there's people that are born in Mexico that live in the United States, but they were put on their birth certificate as blanco, meaning white. Yeah. But not in the United States, they wouldn't be considered that. Not everybody who was considered that in Mexico would be considered that here in the United States. And see, it's laughing. It's kind of like comical. It's like, what, nigga? Like, bro, you're not like, you know. But like, if you go to Mexico, you know, there's people, blanco, white is not this. In Latin America in general, white is a little bit more fluid. But in America, it's more like one drop rule. I'm trying to count how much you have in you, you know, like, let me shake you. But then everybody does almost. So it's like, it doesn't make sense in the United States. United States is a melting pot. But we don't consider Americans a race. Right. You can't walk around and say, I'm American. Bro, I'm American, bro. Yeah. People are like, well, what are you, bro? No, but I'm American. Yeah. Try that shit out for a day. I'm half American. Yeah. And I'm half, you know, I'm half American, I'm half South African. Okay, but what are you? I'm half American, I'm half South African. But what are you? This is what's gonna fucking happen. But you can say I'm half Mexican and I'm half American. Yeah. But the American part is still, what do you mean? Like what? White. What type of American? White. That's what's assumed. By default.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
That's where we go. Yeah.
Right. But when you do it to the flip side, like when you say Mexican, like what does that mean? Like everybody looks different. Yeah. Everybody's just mixed to a variant degree. Yeah. Of whatever those three roughly are. Yeah. And that's just a blanket statement for everything holistically. But you know, there's variants. There's other things. There's like a little bit of Jews going on, blood in there, stuff like that. You know, there's a bunch of little things like there's Middle Easterns, like Shakira. She's, you know, she's got, you know, Latin American blood, but also Middle Eastern blood. But like I said, Latin American blood is just a lot of flavors. Yeah. You got to think, there's a lot of people with Hitler blood over there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how many Nazis came to fucking, you know, like literally a lot of Nazis came to Latin America, like Argentina, Colombia, and Brazil. There's a lot of Nazis. There's like private communities of Nazis over there still. Oh, word. Yeah.
That like left Germany after went up, set up camp over there.
Yep. On U-boats. The government backs them in Chile, Argentina, and Brazil.
It's crazy what went down in South America after World War II. That's like the most craziest untold story in modern history is like South America post World War II.
Yeah, I could see that too. Man. Hold on. Oh shit.
Well, like not even just the Nazi stuff, but you also look at like the things America has done in South America post World War II. You know, different invasions, different coups we've staged, putting people in power that we wanted in power. Man, just the farms we've taken control of, the farms we've suppressed, the people we've forced into labor to continue harvesting our fruit for us and things like that. It's like,
yeah, I don't know, man. It's I get what I'm saying. Like in general, the world is crazy.
Yeah.
Some crazy shit going on in the world,
It is
and
crazy.
like we live in a hypocritical world. I mean, at the root of everything, the whole game, the whole chess game of like who's this and who's that. Really, we're all just fucking. We're all humans. We're all Homo sapiens. I'm a humanitarian. I don't believe in this game, you know. But I understand they play. You know, they try to play this game. But how the fuck can you go to one country and be another race?
What do you mean?
I'm just saying, like, for example, like people will say, like, dude, I heard on fucking TikTok, because they'll be like, dude, in America, if you got like a little black in you, you're this, you're black, bro.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, fuck, what do you do? If I walk in Mexico, you're not? This word doesn't make any sense. It's totally stupid.
Yeah,
it's
makes
dumb.
sense.
That is not fucking true. It's like Meghan Markle. I'm like, dude, I thought Meghan Markle was white. Shut up, bro. I thought she was white.
So did I.
She's white. Bro, she's white, bro. What are you talking about? No, I can tell. I can tell she's a sister. Get the fuck out of here. Get the strap. You can't tell. What sister did she? What's your sister looks like her?
Right.
Come on, bro. That ain't your sister, bro. Come on, bro. Like people get delusional when you start telling them some dumb shit. I think people are just mentally fucked. They just like believe anything you tell them. Oh no, really, no. I can see it, dude. I can see it. Really? Yeah, you could see it. Yeah, dude. I can't see shit. I'm sorry, bro. I thought, dude,
Meghan Markle, no.
No, but people, no, man. It's a black struggle for Meghan Markle. What fucking struggle are you talking about? I mean, when she went to Europe, you know, it must be hard for her. I feel her, sister. What do you feel? She didn't go through the same shit. You think she went through racism like you did? Are you serious, bro? You don't think there's like caste systems? You don't think people can tell that she looks the way she looks? Like people are just blind. No, wait, nope, no whiteness there. Nope. Nope.
Yeah, for sure.
No whiteness there.
Yeah.
Nope. I don't see it. Nope. Not hearing for sure. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
like I just think like people are delusional when it comes to these things. But again, we're all people, and everybody descends from Africa, no matter who we are.
Yeah.
But it's just like if we're gonna play the game, let's just play the game right. If we're gonna play it, because it's just silly at a certain point, because nothing really makes sense. Because like you can't go to one place and be something else totally different.
Yeah.
And it's just like people don't really sit down and think what the fuck they're saying. And they'll be like,
I feel like a lot of people just kind of repeat what they already hear.
yeah,
They think,
my grandma said this.
oh, well, someone said this. It's probably right. Let me go tell someone else what I heard, and they'll think I said it, and they'll think I'm smart.
Yeah. But they don't fucking think what the fuck they're saying.
Right.
They don't stop
just
and
repeating.
they don't stop and think, hey, what I just said sounds dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't make any fucking sense. Nobody self-reflects what they're saying.
That's why.
But they're quick to judge you.
That's why you got to keep good friends around you. That way, when you do say something that's dumb as fuck,
But a lot of friends aren't that smart though. It's not even good friends. Friends that have a fucking brain, who think deeper, who just they're not programmed sheep, who just think everything, you throw something out and they all just say it. And it was funny on TikTok, this one woman, she goes, hey, it's funny this guy's like, you know, it's kind of weird that, you know, this African-American guy's like, you know, he's promoting Jim Crow. Why are you promoting Jim Crow, bro? Are you fucking? No, my grandma said. Come on, bro. Like he doesn't even understand what the fuck he's saying. And it's like a lot of people just don't know what they're saying.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, man, that's just the way it is. Well, who says that?
Yeah.
If Steve Jobs just said that's just the way it is, where the fuck would we be? If Elon Musk said it's just the way it is, then where the fuck would we be?
Yeah.
We still be fucking pushing down these gas ass electric. These gas cars right now.
Oh, that shit.
There's always got to be somebody says this is stupid. What are y'all talking about, bro?
Have you seen the Steve Jobs movie with Ashton Kutcher?
It was trash.
Called Jobs.
I didn't like it as much.
Wasn't a very good movie. However, there's parts in the movie that I love.
It was okay.
And that's just whenever, like, especially there's a part in the movie where he's telling them, you know, they're trying to make this computer, right? And they need a fan that's tiny that'll fit in it. And they're literally trying to tell him, we can't make a fan that'll fit in this computer. And he's like, don't tell me it can't be done. Just do it. Go build the fan and bring it back when it's done. And it's like, that's what I'm talking about right there. Like, don't tell me this shit can't be done. Like, don't tell me that's the way it is. Fuck that. Let's change this shit. Like, we can be the ones to change it. We can be the one to make it not the way it is. You know?
Let's make a difference.
Let's make it, change this shit up. Like, let's innovate. Let's do some crazy shit. And that's the kind of energy I like. So those parts in the Steve Jobs movie, I like it. Because, like, when someone tells me something can't be done, like, I might tell you that's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
But what about
everything can be done?
But what about just dumb shit like what I was just saying? 1 + 1 = fucking 2. How the fuck are you gonna keep on saying, nah, bro? it equals 0 here. We consider it 0. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. Maybe sometimes you got to give up on people. Maybe sometimes you got to.
I can't. But when it's like the masses in the United States who are just like dumb brainwashed, like you run across so many dumb people, they don't even think what they're saying, bro. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, are you serious? You sound fuck. And I'm not the smartest man in the world, bro.
Yeah, same. But like sometimes,
I fuck up.
These people, you know, sometimes people put their head in the sand about stuff, and then you're like, damn. I just want to put my head in the sand about how dumb people are.
Yeah.
about the way, you know, things people just kind of follow, you know, whatever it is that they're following.
I feel like there's other arguments where people are like, well, bro, you know, well, I've got this much in me and blah blah blah, but people can't tell. But you know, so then there's like who's mixed and who's not, or who's this and that, and it gets kind of watered out. But like I said, I think it's like really like if you walk around most of the time and somebody's like, dude, what are you? You might be mixed, motherfucker.
Bro, people say that to me and I'm white as fuck.
Because you might be mixed, motherfucker.
on everything, dog. It's like really common for people to ask me what my ethnicity is, and it's like
because you got swagger.
That must be it.
You got swagger. And you got swagger and you ain't got no hair.
It's the hair. So and honestly, dude, if I could grow hair, my hair is like curly as fuck.
Oh,
like my hair was like so curly when I was a kid.
You're definitely in Uncle Tom's cabin, bro.
You know what I mean? So like I remember and I spent a ton of time outside when I was a kid.
You better do that DNA test.
My mom had to get
You're black, dude.
My mom had to get me and my younger brothers season passes to the town pool, the city pool every summer, so she'd know we wasn't out like doing dumb shit we wasn't supposed to be doing. We'd go to the pool like every day. So I was always like hella tan. Like people, like I'd be at like basketball summer camps during the summer, like basketball tournaments, whatever, and people that I knew at other schools be like, dude, like that kind of knew me, right? So they didn't know my ethnicity. They'd be like, dude, are you mixed? Like, what's your ethnicity? Like, I'm like, nah, dude, I'm white. It's like, boy, you just got like your skin's kind of dark for a white guy, and I like my head's been shaved since I was in high school, right? And since it's curly, like they'd be like, you got like kind of like a Jason Kidd hair.
Oh shit!
And I'm like, so. Yeah, I mean, I guess like my skin probably is even darker than his too, but my I can't grow like a high top fade like Jason Kidd. My hair ain't that curly. It's like Jerry curl curly. It's not like Afro curly.
Right. So people definitely gonna say there's something definitely there. Yeah, you're gonna get it.
Yeah, so it happens pretty often. People ask me my ethnicity.
Yeah, I mean, you may have it, bro. I mean, you never know. You never know till you never know till you don't grow.
I'm gonna have to do the 23andMe, the DNA test. See what's.
But it doesn't matter though. I mean, no matter what it says, I mean, you are what you are, and this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying there's a lot of people that
it's out of curiosity. It's not like a.
I'm just saying there's a lot of people that have mixed ancestry at certain points, and there's a lot of people that don't. But it's like not being able to say what you are is kind of weird when people can just denounce you and tell you what they are, especially when you just like it's obvious and it's like, no, actually I'm this. It's like we just get into a world where we can just say, hey, dude, if anybody can say if anybody can say whatever sex they are, why can't you say what culture you really are?
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest.
What's homegirl's name? Rachel.
We got how many genders now?
Rachel Dozier,
the
white girl who said she's black, the NCAA.
But dude, hey, maybe she might be. Maybe she might. I mean, what some of these people are saying. I mean, I'm pretty sure she can find somewhere down the line. Fuck.
Well, the thing is with like the Rachel Dozier, I think that's her name. I don't know.
Whatever her name is. Yeah.
The white woman who said she was black and worked for the NAACP. Like, I mean, if you can make your skin look dark and you have the curly hair like that, and the world thinks you're black by looking at you. Are you black? No.
But did she really look like black?
No,
you know what I'm saying? No. She never even looked black. She looked like she was mixed.
Definitely looked mixed though.
Right.
For sure.
So it's like even that was still kind of a joke.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. Nobody really thought she was like black. Come on, bro.
That's I was telling you earlier, like when we were talking about this before the pod, I was telling you like I got a homie back in St. Louis who's like his skin is like lighter than mine, but he's black. He's mixed, right? He's half black, half white, but his brothers are like all darker than him. And I'd be messing with him sometimes. Be like, yo, dog, I don't think your dad is your dad. Yeah, even though you look exactly like him in the face, but y'all's skin and your skin is so different. Like he ain't your dad. You white. Your mom was messing around on your dad. Like I got jokes for you because you lighter than me, bro.
Oh shit. I mean, I've heard of stories where like people, two guys, if they came within a certain period of time into the same women, they could still get pregnant by two different guys.
Word.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I don't know if it's true.
Have
or
one
not.
baby.
Yeah. Or have two different babies or whatever, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's possible.
I've heard of that.
You can be pregnant and get pregnant again. It almost never happens, but that's possible. I thought you meant like kind of splice like two different seeds in there that kind of morphed and some along those lines, like, you know, DNA spliced a little bit. But yeah, you can get pregnant twice. It almost never happens, but I've read a couple stories about it happening, and I think that would just be devastating.
Yeah. Hey, let's get Alex. Where you at?
What up?
Come upstairs. What the fuck?
I'm parking. The guy is like, I'm like, okay, let me pay for parking. And he's like, $18. I'm like, okay, no problem. And he goes, oh no, I have to charge it to this guy's room. They won't let me just pay for it. So I gotta give you, can I give you $20 and just put it on your room
For sure.
for parking?
Yeah. Sorry.
Because he's not, I don't know where your other guy parked, but, so I'm just like, I'd rather just.
Where did you park?
I parked on the street.
Oh, hey, what up, bro?
Across the block. What's up, man? Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Likewise.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna park, but I'm gonna just throw you 20.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
You dig? Come up.
I didn't want to do it without telling you. That's
Nah, dude, I didn't know. Yeah, that'd be nice. I think I appreciate that. I love you, bro. All
all right. I'll see you soon.
right, fam. Late. Yeah, sorry about that. That was Razagi. That's my boy Razagi. He's gonna come up there. He's another comedian too, man.
Nice.
We're gonna have
That's
this
what's up.
have this good time. We're gonna continue this whole fucking pod shit. But yeah, dude. Man, dude, it's been so good to catch up with you
Yeah,
in
same.
person. We fucking finally did it. We
Yeah,
got it
no
in person,
doubt.
dude. We did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we actually met from this podcast like 6-7 months ago whenever we did it. That was how we originally linked up. I was just like, he was looking for guests and I was looking for pods to talk on, and it was just like we just.
I was looking for quality guests.
Yeah,
Understand?
yeah, quality
Yeah,
guests, and I was looking
remember
for quality podcasts. Like I don't usually do just any podcast, and I especially don't do like, I'm not a snob and I'm not like above anything, but my thing is, if you don't care about your podcast, I don't care about your podcast.
that. Ooh, that's deep.
You know,
Yeah. Keep that knowledge.
if you don't
Kicking
care
that
about-
knowledge,
yeah,
dude.
so-
yeah.
and you got to have 10 episodes because that's like the threshold. Most people don't make it to 10 episodes. So if you don't care about your podcast, like that's another thing. 10 episodes, that's the. If you didn't make it to 10 episodes, then you don't care about your podcast. And if you don't care about your podcast, I don't care about your podcast.
These are the facts.
And
Trenton, tell these fuckers where they can actually get in contact with you, how they can check you out, how they can see your shows,
yeah,
buy
the-
your content,
yeah,
and get your Korma coffee. We got to get that Korma. We gotta
Oh
get
yeah,
that.
get that in the
We gotta
camera. Get that in the camera. You can
We gotta
have
get
that bag right there. I bought that.
We
for
got to
you.
get that Korma coffee. Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
Korma Date Coffee. So you can find that at kormacafe.com. Right now, we got a classic blend that tastes pretty close to coffee. We got a light roast. We got a toasted coconut. We're about to introduce a hazelnut pretty soon. And
that hazelnut.
So that's exciting. Cartoons though, comedy, Riot Comedy, Instagram, YouTube. That's the easiest place to find us. We're always posting stuff on there. That's where we post our updates. And lately we've been pitching shows. Haven't been putting out a ton of content online, but we got some really cool stuff in the works and some exciting projects. So as soon as we can make any kind of announcements, that'll be on the gram.
Awesome. That's my dog. Awesome, man. Trenton, it's great to have you on the podcast,
the
man.
pleasure was all mine, my brother.
We made people laugh, bro.
Cheers to that.
Awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The Kids in the Room Podcast.
Kids in the Room
Podcast.
That's right. That's right.
Brought to you by Move Faces TV. Let's go.